Rediscovering Gita for the Modern World by Shrikant Soman. Based on Essays on Gita by Sri Aurobindo. Chapter 12 continued. The Significance of Sacrifice. Continued from the previous episode 82. The Transformation of Sacrifice, from Ceremony to Spirituality. Current episode 83. The Deeper Meaning of Sacrifice in the Bhagavad Gita. From ritual to spiritual unity, the Gita's concept of sacrifice. Sacrifice as the path to liberation and oneness. Key takeaways. The all-pervading nature of Brahman. Brahman is not merely the Vedas or a ritualistic concept, but the eternal, the one self present in all beings. It encompasses both the unchanging immobile soul of things and the dynamic creative force behind all movement. The cosmic principle of sacrifice. All of nature's workings are a form of sacrifice, with the divine as the ultimate enjoyer. The physical cycle of rain and food is a reflection of this deeper truth, not just a transactional exchange between gods and humans. Surrender of the ego. The ultimate sacrifice involves a complete surrender of the lower, desiring ego. This means giving up the sense of being the doer to Prakriti, nature, and the sense of being the enjoyer to the divine Purusha, thereby freeing oneself from attachment. The culmination of sacrifice. The highest form of sacrifice is not a physical ritual but the inner surrender of all actions to the divine. This practice, when performed without attachment and for the welfare of the world, leads to freedom from the bondage of works. Sacrifice as a symbol of unity. The Gita transforms the old material symbolism of sacrifice into a new philosophical one. The entire act, the offering, the fire, the doer and the goal, is seen as a manifestation of the one Brahman, representing a state of complete unity and knowledge. The Gita's teaching cannot be a mere ritualistic theory, as that would contradict the rest of the text. Even within the passage, it hints at a deeper meaning. The text states that sacrifice comes from work, which comes from Brahman, and Brahman comes from the immutable. Thus, the all-pervading Brahman is established in the sacrifice. The all-pervading Brahman. The logic of this shows that Brahman is not just the Vedas, it's the eternal, the one self in all beings. The Vedas are a knowledge of the divine, but they focus on the workings of Prakriti, or nature. This divine in nature is born from the immutable Purusha, the self who stands above nature. Brahman has two aspects, the unchanging being and the creator in the changing world. It's the immobile soul of things and also the spiritual force of their movement. The Purushottama, or divine being, is in both aspects. His unchanging state is one of peace and equality. From this, he manifests in the qualities of nature. From this Brahman with qualities come all the works of the universal energy. From that work comes the principle of sacrifice. Even the physical exchange between gods and humans follows this principle. This is why rain and food depend on this cycle. In truth, all of nature's workings are a sacrifice. The divine is the one who enjoys all energies and works. He is the great Lord of all beings. To know that the all-pervading divine is established in sacrifice is the true knowledge. The divine within. A person can know the divine through the devas, who are powers of the divine soul in nature. Life is a part of this divine action, not a separate thing. We should see our enjoyments as gifts from the gods, not as things we see selfishly. As we adopt this view, we become satisfied with sacrifice as a law of life. We give up all but what remains from the sacrifice. Anyone who goes against this law and lives for their own selfish interests lives in vain. They miss the true purpose of life and spiritual growth. The highest estate is reached when sacrifice is offered to the one all-pervading divine, not just to the gods. The gods are just lower forms of the divine. In this state you give up your lower, desiring self. You offer up your sense of being the worker to Prakriti nature. You give up your personal sense of being the enjoyer to the divine Purusha. Your only satisfaction is in that self, not in personal enjoyment. You have nothing to gain from action or inaction. You perform works only for the divine, as a pure sacrifice, without attachment. This way, you gain equality and become free from the qualities of nature. Your soul finds peace in the immutable Brahman, while your actions continue. Thus, sacrifice becomes your path to the highest. The culmination of sacrifice. This meaning is made clear by the Gita's later affirmations. The purpose of works is for the welfare of the world. Prakriti is the sole doer of works, and the divine Purusha is their equal supporter. This inner surrender of works while still doing them is the highest form of sacrifice. The result is freedom from the bondage of works. A person who is content with what they get and is equal in both success and failure is not bound, even when they act. When a person free from attachment acts for sacrifice, all their actions dissolve. They leave no lasting impression on the soul. The Gita then gives a detailed explanation of yajna. It replaces the old Vedic symbolism with a new philosophical one. The sacrificial fire is no longer a material flame. It is the fire of Brahman. It is self-control or inner energy. The food left over is the nectar of immortality. The offering is any energy, physical or psychological, that you dedicate to the divine. This elaborate explanation begins with a vast definition. The entire act of sacrifice is the one Brahman. Brahman is the giving. Brahman is the food offering. By Brahman it is offered into the Brahman fire. Brahman is that which is to be attained. This is the knowledge a liberated person uses to do works of sacrifice. It is the knowledge of complete unity. The one is the doer, the deed, and the object of all works.